We'll start with Real Madrid's match against Benfica, which was suspended for 10 minutes after Vinicius Junior accused Gianluca Prestiani of a racist slur. The game was suspended for 10 minutes. Trent Alexander-Arnold called the incident a disgrace to football. Vinicius Junior gave Real Madrid the lead with a fantastic strike before celebrating by the corner flag, where he was targeted by objects thrown from the home crowd, who subsequently halted play. Well, this is what Vinicius Junior posted on social media. Racists are, above all, cowards. They need to put their shirts over their mouths to demonstrate how weak they are. But they have, on their side, the protection of others who, theoretically, have the obligation to punish. Nothing that happened here today was new in my life and my family's. I received a yellow card for celebrating a goal. I still don't understand.
Hello guys, today we are looking at racism, how to stop racism in football or in soccer. With respect to recent incident between Vinicius Junior and Prestani, Gianluca Prestani of Benfica. You know, he is Argentinian. And, you know, people doesn't know much about, you know, how racism works, you know, because I have been talking about this racism, you know, in my previous video. I've talked about racism and how we know who is racist and what the racists hate to see. And if you present them with stuff like that, they will withdraw from their racism, or it will curtail racism. You know, because you know, now because he covered his mouth when he said that stuff he said. You know, people, you know, some people are saying that maybe he didn't say it. Maybe Vinicius Junior was wrong. You know, he didn't hear properly. You know what I mean? And even Jose Mourinho, you know, he started gaslight. You know, making excuses. You know, punishing excuses for this kind of event. You know, which he doesn't supposed to do. So, but today I'm gonna tell you how to stop this kind of stuff from happening. It's not about punishing the player or banning him or fining the club. Placing like a fine on the club or on the supporters. This doesn't this will not make much difference, because they have been doing this. UEFA or FIFA have been doing this, and still they have this kind of incident. So the only thing the racists hate, because when you look at the colonization, the colonial masters, they want their slaves to do something for free for them. That's what they want. They don't want to pay. They don't want to pay. Once you talk about money and pay, they hate it. This is what they hate to see. They hate to see money going to these people. They have racist tendency towards, So, but now, like the issue of Vinicius Junior, we see that even if now the UEFA or FIFA got involved and fined the club or they banned the guy, by the end of the day, Vinicius Junior is a victim of this, and he's not going to get anything. The only thing he's going to get that they want him to be happy that the guy has been punished, which is nothing. So the only way to solve racism is to award money to the victim. Like what racists hate is to see who they hate to get money. So now, for instance, if they find the Benfica or the player, if they find him like 20 million and 50 million dollars goes to Vinicius Junior. I think if they start doing this, you see this stuff about racist incident will stop, because they don't want to see that people that doesn't resemble them are getting more money. Racist doesn't like it. That's why I said in my previous video that the only way to know if somebody is a racist, even if the person is your boss, is that he don't want to give you more money. Because the racist doesn't want to see you make more money. That's what they hate. Instead, they want to take it from you. They want you to They want to see you suffering, even if it's financially. That's what they do. So for most people, if you want to know whether somebody is a racist, even if you're a boss, you just talk about increasing your money where you're working, or a way to, or somebody have not even wake up one day and say, let me increase his money, his wages. If you see anyone that is happy for you to increase your wage, is not a racist. Quote me, yeah, quote me about that. The person is not a racist. So the issue of fining or banning the player or punishing the player that this kind of racist came from, it doesn't stop it. The only way it's going to stop it is when you find the club or the player, give that 80% of that money to that victim of racism. But they don't do it. They just fine and the money goes. They say, oh, they're gonna use the money to do some stuff to improve the racist, to go counter the racism stuff. But it doesn't. The money we see just vanish. You know what I mean? But once the racists know that if you do anything, if you say anything, and they fine him, so that money is gonna go to the players. They'll stop doing it. That's it. Racist doesn't want to see. They don't want these people doing it. They don't want to see Vinicius Junior make more money. You know what I mean? And when you look at it as well, if somebody is a victim of racism, maybe he needed therapy. As a human being, this can break you down. Or no, not that this can break you down. This will break many people down. You know what I mean? So they need treatment. But when they're talking about stuff like that, they don't talk about it. They don't talk about, look, give this person money to go and get help, go and get counseling, stuff like that. It's not about banning or fining the club and the money doesn't go to the victim. It's pointless. Once the money starts going to the victim, racism will go. Peace.